In this video, I'm going to show you how to view your results from Google Forms. So here we have the form that we've been working with. I want to do a couple things. First off, I want to view the live form. So this is what the form itself actually looks like. And I also want to see responses. I can go up there, but I'm going to click right here where it says that I'm going to view them in a spreadsheet. So now I have the form right here and the spreadsheet, and if I flip through the spreadsheet I can see it's got some information. It's got the timestamp, it'll tell you when it was submitted, the username, because remember that's being recorded up here, the name, whatever I've been typing in there, and I've been doing all these so it just says me, student ID, that's the numbers that go on right there, and then what happens to be the best Star Wars movie. And you can see the results appear right up here in those different cells in the spreadsheet. So if I was to fill out and complete another form like this, I'm going to cross my fingers and hope that The Force Awakens is going to be the best of the Star Wars movies. And I submit it. I'm going to see right here, it has just popped in with right now, and it's going to have that. So here I can see all the submissions. If I go full screen with this, I can see all the different information in there. If I have more questions, they're going to appear out horizontally, and you can put in lots and lots and lots of questions, and all the information will be just in each one of those cells. Now, the spreadsheet is of course very handy, but sometimes you actually want to look at just something that's a little bit simpler, in which case, if I go back here to my form, I can also go up here where it says responses and click summary of responses. In this one right here, it's just going to give me a nice little handy dandy reference for here's what the names have been, here's the student IDs, here's what people have been saying the best one is, and of course that line graph showing my daily responses. That's handy, but sometimes you might want to change that. You might want to clear that off, in which case you go to responses and you want to click delete all responses. Now, this is not going to actually affect anything on the spreadsheet. It's only going to affect what I see right here. I'm going to clear this all off and zero out everything. So I'm going to hit OK. My responses was 20 and it dropped to 0. If I looked at this and refresh it, it's going to say there are no responses. But once again, it does not affect what I see in the spreadsheet. I can refresh the spreadsheet. I have not lost this information. This is separate from what I see right here. So clearing out responses is something really handy to do, maybe between classes, and you want to see what each class was saying. Delete all the responses. It won't affect what you have in the actual spreadsheet. One thing that's really handy to do when it actually comes to your spreadsheet is the ability to quote-unquote grade that spreadsheet. Now to do that, we're going to use a wonderful little add-on called Flubaroo. If you don't have that, you're going to go up to Add-ons and going to click on Get Add-ons. Now there's a bunch of different ones that you can add on there. It might be front and center, but I'm going to search for Flubaroo. And it's going to come up, and I'm going to hit Add. And it needs to know these different things. I'm okay with all that. I'm going to hit Accept. And Flubaroo is now added. It's going to do a little bit of work. Now it's telling me what to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Add-ons, Flubaroo, and I'm going to hit Grade Assignment. We've got a couple different steps here. Please select a grading option. I'm going to say that my username identifies the student, name identifies them, and student ID identifies them. So it's essentially not going to grade these. It's not going to count them worth points. If I had more questions down here, it would give me more options. But I'm going to say this one here, what is the best Star Wars movie? That's a normal question, and I'm going to make it worth 1 point. I could also say skip grading, or their new option for grade by hand. I'm just going to do normal grading here, and I'm going to hit continue. Now it says, hey, which one are you going to consider to be the answer key? Well, I'm going to make that my first submission. That's usually the one that's going to be, because you're going to probably want to take the form before you actually assign it to anyone. So I'm going to say that first one is going to be the answer key. I'm going to hit continue. And it's going to create a new little tab down here. It's also going to change that one where it said form responses 1. Now it's changed to be student submissions. So it's now created a new sheet called grades. And what I can see right here is it's got the timestamp, the username, the name, and the student ID, and then it's going to say how many points did this particular person get? What percentage did they get based on what we consider to be the answer key? How many times did they submit it, and whether or not the grade was emailed? Here I can see the individual questions and what they got in them. I'm going to email those grades. If I go to Add-ons, Flubaroo, I can hit email grades, and it's going to pop up the username, which is acarlson2@isd622.org, right here. We'll consider that the email address. I want to include the list of questions and scores and the answer key. And I can include a message. This isn't personalized, this is going out to everyone. Now, if you want to just give them, hey, here's what the questions were, here's what your scores were, you can do that, but this one here, the answer key, will include the correct answer as well. If you just want them to know what percentage they got, leave those unchecked. If you want them to know what they got wrong, but not what the answers are, just this one, and here is if you want to give them everything. I'm going to hit continue, and it has emailed out those grades. Let's pull up one of those emails so we can see what it says. So here's one of those emails that they sent to me, and I got a bunch of them because of course I'd taken it a few times. Here you can see is one where I got correct. It'll tell me what your grade was, the note that I said to everyone, and it's going to say, hey, you put this one here, your answer Empire Strikes Back, and it's going to say that is correct. However, on a later one where I of course accidentally put the Phantom Menace, it's going to say this is incorrect and you got 0 points for this. You have the option of not including the correct answer and just including their answer, but here I said include the answer key as well. So Flubaroo, very, very handy. It's nice to look at this and be able to see these particular people didn't do very well. You can see what questions they were doing well on. And of course, if it's below a certain threshold, this will appear orange, indicating, hey, this question here, they did not do so hot on. Flubaroo, very, very handy, very easy to use, very useful.